Welcome to the first episode of our podcast entitled Slow.
It took us a while to figure out what really resonate with us when we decided we want to do a podcast.
Yep. And after much debate, discussion,
and disagreement.
frustration,
Yeah.
yes, we thought that this slow concept would be something that we would really love to have a lot of conversation to talk to each other about. Yeah.
And it's something that we really believe in, especially in the last, I would say, 5 years
Yep.
of our lives.
Yep.
In the beginning of our marriage, in our 20s, I don't think we'll ever accept this concept of slow because slow feels like no result. Slow feels
Yeah.
like incapable.
Yeah.
Slow feels like just a drag.
Yeah.
But I think something just happened in our life that really caused us to rediscover what life truly is all about.
Yeah, correct. Because I think very often when people think about slow, people think that it's not moving. If it's not moving, then it is not progressing. If it's not progressing, then we are definitely going backward. But the slow that we want to talk about, we're not trying to get us to talk slowly or eat slowly or work slowly. But the slow that we want to actually talk about is focusing on that which takes time to grow. So there are things that will take time to grow because there are things that shouldn't take too long to be accomplished,
Yeah.
right? Like instant noodle shouldn't take way too
Like
long.
when you ask me to marry you, you wouldn't want me to drag it out for 3 months to think about whether I should marry you.
It would be a sign of failure,
Yeah.
not being wanted anymore.
And this concept of slow is especially hard for us because we are both sprinters, right? 100-meter sprinters growing up. I was in athletics for the longest time I could remember. And the aim was to run below how many seconds? Like if we could reach like less than 10 seconds, it's like Olympic standard. So we're always living a fast-paced life.
Yep.
Ever since we got married, bam, then we had kids, then we dragged our kids everywhere we went. When we went traveling, we sat in conferences, we got home at 1 a.m. and we would go again at 6 a.m. and that was life.
Yeah.
And we hardly had time to breathe, to catch up with each other,
Yeah.
to really understand, hey, what's been working out or what's not working out. There was no time for it. We just kept going.
Yeah. But I think also in the 20s, I guess that's how everyone's wired. Everyone think that that's called momentum in life. If you're watching us today, if you're in the 20s, it probably sounds really weird to you because it's like, hey, what are they talking about? But when you come to a place in our lives, and today we want to introduce this idea to you, slow is not asking you to lose momentum, but to be able to truly reflect and think of what we're actually doing right now. But this thing came about when a couple of years back, Esther and I went to a silent retreat, whereby we were not allowed to talk to each other for a whole week.
Yeah,
right?
for 7 days.
For 7 days.
And
In fact, in the beginning, I freaked out. I thought
Yeah.
I'm not going to survive.
and
And
I
you thought you were going to be.
yeah, I thought, oh, easy peasy, right? How hard can it be not talk for 7 days? I
Yep.
would love it. So entering the silent retreat, we both had different mindsets
Different expectations.
and expectations
different fears.
and different fears.
Yep.
So the thing with this silent retreat was you're not even allowed to share the same room
Yep.
as husband and wife. So
Yep.
you sleep separately. You don't have to talk to each other. You don't even have to smile or nod at each other. Just ignore each other. So it took us a while to get used to it. So that's why they took 1 day to prepare us for the 7 days of silence.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, we could do this. It's not too hard, not talk to each other. So entering the day one, we still tried to look at each other,
Yep.
kept eye contact, but we
No
tried
talking.
not talking to each other. And for me, it was really tough because I'm so used to having someone in my life talking nonstop, right? And that is my husband to me. So being in that space, having to have my own room and my own space, and no one to talk to, no one there to be my companion, to eat with me, to do things with me, and yet I know he's near. He's just in the next room, next to my room. It was tough,
Yeah.
and I struggled through day 1, day 2, and day 3.
Yeah.
And it didn't help when I look at him and he's like happy. He's like, it feels like he's having the time of his life. And I got triggered thinking, wow, he's so happy without me. So I guess that
No, actually,
that marks something about our marriage.
I think that was a very interesting realization, because when we went to the silent retreat, we really didn't know what to expect, except trying to cope with the fear of not talking for a
7
week,
days, yeah.
for a week to each other or to anybody. But what happened was, I realized after the first day that, oh, I don't have to say hi to anybody. I don't have to wave. I don't have to nod or acknowledge. It gave me something that I never experienced before, and that was when I actually realized having need to talk is a responsibility in my life. As a pastor of the church, as a coach, as a trainer, my mouth speaking is like my greatest weapon. Things that I can do with when I open my mouth. But then for that one whole week, oh, I don't even have to talk to my wife. And she cannot be angry, because that's the agreement, right? To enter into it. And and it was a breath of fresh air for me. Like, wow, I could hear myself, talk to myself so much more, to reflect, to pray. And that was really the beginning of it. And it didn't take too long for me to realize something was different in my life, because remember the first day they told us to eat our lunch slowly, and I tried to eat very slow, okay? Like super slow. I bite and chew every grain of rice I could remember, and the vegetable, and just imagine the vegetable and the meat. To my shock and my horror, it was 3 minutes.
That's it.
That's
3
all it
minutes.
took. So then I was thinking, like, wow, on a normal day, I probably eat a lot faster. And so it was after that silent retreat that this whole entire realization about slow as a concept of life come to me. We don't want to talk slower. We don't want to change the pace of how things ought to be done, but to realize that in life, not everything can be achieved, done, grow fast.
And we live in this world that is so competitive, and we're always comparing ourselves to someone out there, to some achievement out there, to some other marriages
Yep.
out there. And that causes us a lot of stress. And I totally understand that, because I'm someone like that. And when I learned this concept of slow, where, hey, what's in it for me? What is it about me that I can do better? Being more aware of some of these things that has been going on in my life, I really felt rested in that 7 days. And I came out from it even more efficient in
Yeah.
what I do,
Yeah.
because I now know how to have that rhythm in my life, where I'll push, and then I'll retreat, and I'll push, and I'll retreat.
Yeah.
And not feel bad about it, because last time I would feel bad if we took time off for holidays. We would feel bad thinking, oh, the whole world will crash because we're not there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
need us.
Yeah.
And if we were to take time off for our marriage and leave our kids with someone, we would feel bad because, oh no, they're not going to survive without us.
Yeah.
So after a while, it feels like we are like the superhero in everybody's life.
Yep.
And
That's
that
true.
causes us even more stress. And we can't really function and be the person that we're truly made to be.
Yes, because I think I think the how we get to where we got to be has a different pace for everybody. Like a marriage, how strong a marriage, or how intimate you are, not just physically but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. You cannot put a marker like, okay, you should be this mature or this intimate after this amount of years you're married. to some couple, maybe it's a lot faster. To some couples, maybe it's a lot longer. To some couple, maybe it took them many, many, many years. But I guess to understand that pace, to understand that slow is to recognize that some of these things takes time to grow, is actually liberating. To know that I'm not trying to match a standard set by who? The society, the expectations of other people. And so, in this introduction, first episode, I hope you are beginning to think. I know we haven't given you a lot of stuff yet.
We want to invite you on this journey
Yeah.
as we explore this whole concept of slow, the things that takes time
Yeah.
to grow and build. And I believe we'll all come up of this journey having a deeper sense of life,
Yeah.
deeper meaning in what we do, and finding that fulfillment in our lives.
Yeah.
So we're going to explore relationships, marriages, friendships, work,
Communication.
communication,
Purpose.
honesty, trust,
Yeah.
purpose, everything in life
Yeah.
that takes time to grow.
Yeah. And in a less complicated way, who knows, we may be your companion on your way to work, listening to us, two of us talking about some of these things. So thank you for already tuning in for episode 1. Looking forward to seeing you guys again. Before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and tell somebody about this new podcast that you discovered.
That's right.
See you.